Imagine this. A riff slithers out like a storm cloud rolling in low and mean, building tension until it explodes into a howl of desperation. That's Gimme Shelter by the Rolling Stones, a track that doesn't just play, it grabs you by the collar and shakes you awake to the madness of the world. It's the kind of song that makes you feel the rain on your skin, the thunder in your chest, and yeah, maybe a little fear in your gut. But behind that epic sound lies a story packed with drama, tragedy, and enough rock and roll absurdity to make you question if the universe has a twisted sense of humor. We're talking late-night phone calls to pregnant singers, voice cracks that became legends, and a concert that turned peace and love into a punch-up. Stick around, because this tale's got more twists than Keith Richards' guitar strings. Let's rewind to the spark that ignited this beast. It's 1969 and Keith Richards is holed up in his London pad, staring out at a biblical downpour hammering the streets. The sky's cracking open, people are scrambling for cover like ants in a flood, and Keith's got this brooding vibe going on. See, his girlfriend Anita Pallenberg had been canoodling with Mick Jagger on the set of some movie. Talk about a plot twist that could fuel a soap opera. Keith's not admitting it outright, but that jealousy simmers into the song's DNA. He's tinkering on his guitar in open E tuning, no fancy effects, just raw edge. Out comes that iconic riff, slinky and ominous, like a predator stalking its prey. Mick chimes in with lyrics that capture the apocalypse knocking at the door. War raging in Vietnam, riots in the streets, the whole 60s dream curdling into nightmare fuel. Now, dissect those opening lines. Oh, a storm is threatening my very life today. That's no metaphor for a bad hair day. It's Keith channeling that literal London gale, but amping it up to symbolize the global chaos. If I don't get some shelter, oh yeah, I'm gonna fade away. Shelter here? It's not just an umbrella. It's craving escape from the madness, a plea for sanity in a world gone bonkers. And get this obscure nugget. Keith played all the guitars himself because Brian Jones was spiraling out, too fried to contribute. Imagine Keith layering those tracks like a one-man band of doom. What if he'd outsourced to a session guy? We'd have Gimme Shelter sounding like elevator music. Nah, this was pure Stones alchemy, turning personal beef into universal thunder. Fast forward to the recording sessions, and here's where the shenanigans kick in. They're at Olympic Studios in London, but for that killer female vocal, they beam over to Los Angeles. Enter Mary Clayton, a gospel powerhouse who's sung with everyone from Ray Charles to Bobby Darin. It's midnight, Mary's pregnant as hell, lounging in her pajamas with hair curlers in, when the phone rings. Producer Jack Nitzsche is on the line. Hey, the Stones need a woman to belt out this rape and murder bit. Mary's hubby has to convince her it's not a prank, because who calls her expectant mom at witching hour for a rock gig? She shows up in her curlers, no makeup, and nails it in a few takes. But on the third, her voice cracks like lightning on rape, murder, pure raw emotion, and they keep it because it's gold. Tragically, the strain hits hard. Mary suffers a miscarriage shortly after heading home. Heartbreaking stuff, right? It adds this layer of real-life darkness to the track, like the song was cursed or prophetic. The album? Let It Bleed, dropping in December '69, right as the decade's exhaling its last breath. Release shenanigans abound. The band's dealing with Brian Jones' death earlier that year, drowned in his pool under murky circumstances, poor sod. They're transitioning to Mick Taylor on guitar, who's fresh-faced and talented, but stepping into a whirlwind. The cover art's this bizarre cake with the band as figurines, baked by Delia Smith before she was a TV chef queen. Obscure trivia alert. The album's title plays on the Beatles' Let It Be, a cheeky jab at their rivals. And Gimme Shelter kicks it off, setting a tone that's equal parts menace and mastery. No singles release for the song initially, too gritty for radio. But it sneaks into hearts anyway. Imagine if they'd polished it up with strings or something saccharine. It'd be Gimme Sugar instead, and we'd all be diabetic from the sweetness. As for those key phrases, let's unpack 'em with a smirk. War, children, it's just a shot away. Mick's nodding to Vietnam, where kids are getting drafted and blasted, the horror one trigger pull from home. Origin? Straight from the headlines, protests, body counts, the whole mess. But twisted absurd. What if war was just a shot away, like a tequila shot? Peace talks over margaritas, world leaders slurring treaties. Nah, reality's harsher. Then rape, murder, it's just a shot away. Mary owns this, her wail turning it into a banshee cry. Meaning? The brutality lurking in society, amplified by the era's violence. Little-known fact, Mick originally wanted a woman for that part to add edge, but Mary elevated it to immortal. And Love Sister, it's just a kiss away. Ah, the flip side. Redemption's close, but elusive. Inspired by the free love vibe crumbling under reality's boot. Ponder this what if. Suppose the Stones had gone disco with it. Gimme Shelter as a boogie track, Keith in platform shoes, Mick moonwalking. Horrifying yet hilarious. Now the rise to mythic status. Buckle, wait, no overused phrases. Enter the Altamont Speedway Free Festival, December 6, 1969. The Stones, riding high off their US tour, decide to cap it with a Woodstock West. Free love, good vibes, 300,000 fans. But they hire Hell's Angels as security for beer and a nod. What could go wrong? Everything. The crowd's rowdy, angels are swinging pool cues like medieval knights, and during the set, violence erupts. The documentary crew captures it all for the film Gimme Shelter, which becomes this unintended eulogy for the 60s. Obscure detail. The stabbing of Meredith Hunter happens not during this song, but under my thumb, yet Gimme Shelter bookends the chaos in the movie, forever linking it to the bloodshed. Mick's pleading, brothers and sisters, why are we fighting, while the riff growls on. It's like the song predicted the meltdown. Satirical swipe hiring bikers for peace. That's like asking a fox to guard the henhouse, feathers everywhere, and nobody's clucking happy. The film's a trip, Maisels brothers directing, showing the Stones watching playback, faces paling as reality hits. It cements the track as the soundtrack to idealism's crash landing. And culturally? It ripples out. Scorsese obsesses over it, slapping it in Goodfellas, Casino, The Departed like audio wallpaper for mob drama. What if Marty directed a rom-com with it? Honey, war's just a shot away, pass the popcorn. Absurd, but imagine the box office flop. Legacy and lasting weirdness, Gimme Shelter endures as an anthem for turbulent times, popping up in protests, films, even video games. Little-known ripple, it inspired covers from everyone. Patti Smith turns it punk, Grand Funk Railroad funks it up. But the weirdness? That voice crack echoes in sampling culture. Producers loop Mary's howl like a ghost in the machine. And Keith's riff? It's been dissected in guitar mags as the ultimate tension builder. No solo, just build-up to Mary's eruption. Self-roasting aside, the Stones have outlasted empires, but this song's their time capsule of doom. Cultural impact? It marks the 60s tombstone. Flower power wilted, enter the 70s hangover. Obscure fact, the song's used in hurricane PSAs, literal shelter vibes. What if it became an elevator staple? Muzak version. Oh, a drizzle's threatening my dry cleaning today. Elevators would empty faster than a bad gig. And that fire verse, the floods is threatening my very life today. Meaning? Natural disasters mirroring man-made ones, all overwhelming. Origin. That London storm again, but scaled to biblical proportions. A mad bull lost his way, chaos personified like the Altamont crowd. Funny what if. Suppose the Stones performed it at a bullfight. Matadors dodging riffs instead of horns. Wrapping this up with a bang, Gimme Shelter isn't just a song. It's a sonic shelter from boredom. A reminder that rock can bite back. So hit that like button if it gave you chills, subscribe for more dives into the underbelly of legends, and share with your mates who think the Stones are just old geezers. Remember, in a world gone mad, sometimes all you need is a killer riff and a plea for mercy. War Children, it's just a stream away? Nah, cue the fade out with that howl lingering. Thanks for hanging. Now go blast it loud.